Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to Chelsea Fan TV and welcome to another transfer video. First things first, guys, make sure you smash the like, subscribe if you're new around here, and as always, leave your thoughts in the comments below. And with Chelsea's first pre-season match taking place next week in the States against Wrexham, I'm going to be looking at the state of play in the transfer market with the club so far, the business that has been done, the rumours, the links doing the rounds, and what we still need to do. And look, it's safe to say Chelsea have been busy. 6 new faces have come through the door if you include Esteban Willian, who joined in 2025. We've signed, obviously, Tosin Adarabioyo, Amari Kellyman, Mark Guiu, Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall, and, of course, Renato Vega. Now, I look at it, and for me personally, you know, I feel a little bit underwhelmed by the business we've done so far. I'm not saying that, you know, these players aren't good players, because some of them could turn out to be successful for us. I think Dewsbury-Hall could be a good signing. The others, and Tosin as well, I think can offer value. The others are very much kind of a stab in the dark, and they're very much opportunistic. And I look at Chelsea's business this window, and I see every signing that we've made so far as an opportunity. That's what we're looking to do right now. We're looking at opportunistic signings, you know, opportunities in the market where there are cheap release clauses or players coming to the end of their contracts. That's kind of what we're looking to do right now. You know, we have been linked with some big names, but, you know, we constantly hear about Chelsea being linked with Nico Williams. Or, you know, club would love to sign Nico Williams. They dream of signing Nico Williams. But the reality is that we're not prepared to pay the big money it takes to land the big players. And whether you agree or disagree with it, that's seemingly the route that the club have gone down. And we're very much now going to be looking at perhaps, you know, lesser names, but names that suit the system better, that are going to suit the style of play better. And I don't necessarily have an issue with that, but I think when you do it for every single position, then, you know, you could find yourselves in a problem. You know, for me personally, I've always maintained, you know, we shouldn't constantly be looking to add. You know, we should be looking to improve on what we've got already, believe in the investments that you've made and work on improving those rather than constantly signing new players. But look at the winger situation, for example. And I look at it and I think, right, okay, you've got Sterling and Mudryk on the left, and you've got Madueke down the right-hand side, plus Cole Palmer, who can operate down the right. We know that we heavily pursued Michael Elise. The deal didn't work out on that one. We've subsequently been linked with the likes of Karim Adeyemi from Borussia Dortmund, Francisco Conceição from Porto, and obviously Crysencio Somerville from Leeds. All good players in their own right, but none of them that I'd really consider to be ceiling raisers, you know, level raisers. Good players, but again, project players, you know, guys that are going to take a couple of years to come good. You'd probably say that Somerville is actually probably the most proven out of those players, in my opinion. But again, you know, it's a big step up from the Championship. And I think if we're going to make the sort of signings in those statement areas, you know, in your wide areas, in your centre forward position, it needs to be someone with a bit more proven, someone with a bit more of a track record and a bit more of a reputation to really take the team up a level. I think the signings we've made definitely improve the squad, but my argument would be, do these guys improve the first team? And like they could go on to prove that they do, but I think right now on the face of it, you know, for me personally, none of these signings actually improve the first 11. In my opinion, you know, for me personally, looking at the wingers we're linked with now, you know, Nico Williams would have been the dream signing, would have been the great signing to make. You know, talk about level raisers, making a statement in the market and whatnot. But the likes of your Somervilles, your Conceiçãos and your Adeyemis and stuff, not really needed. You know, if you believe in your investments, for example, someone like Angelo, I know that he's like maybe plays on the opposite side or whatever, but you know, why sign another winger if you've already got him on the books? Why did you sign him? You know, obviously maybe just to flip him for a profit, but surely just give the guy a go. You know, instead of signing another winger, wouldn't you have been better off just keeping Amari Hutchinson, for example, if you're going to go for the level of a Adeyemi or a Conceição? These are my points here. But in terms of transfer business, you know, apart from what we've done, there's not been a huge amount of links doing the rounds. The centre forward position is obviously another one that is talked about. You know, reports have suggested that Chelsea could go back in for Victor Osimhen if the Napoli asking price drops, but it looks like, you know, PSG are in talks with his camp, and he'd be open to a move there. And that right now seems his most likely destination. And to be perfectly honest, it's kind of the most obvious transfer of all time, Osimhen to PSG. If you sort of really think about it, I didn't seriously think that Chelsea would go back in from having made their stance quite clear. But The Athletic have reported that Chelsea is still debating whether to make a move for a big name striker or not. But I can't see that many big name strikers out there that are going to be available and that would be open to a move to the club. I don't see us moving for any attacking reinforcements until until after pre-season potentially, when the options have been assessed. We know that Maresca wants to see what Guiu's like. We know that Maresca wants to see what Christopher Nkunku might be like in that number 9 position. And I think it's a smart decision to make rather than diving in and signing someone for the sake of it, to assess what the options that you've got, see if Guiu's up to the task, see what Nkunku's like given a decent run in that number 9 position, and then go from there. We've been linked with the likes of John Duran, Samuel Morodion, Jonathan David. Links to a new striker have gone pretty cold. And to be honest, if we deem what we have could be sufficient and works well enough in the pre-season, then I would be for doing that rather than signing kind of an average-ish striker just for the sake of it. I think for me personally, if you're going to go for a forward, I'd rather stick with what we've got for a year, and then next summer, a player of more like a player, a decent player becomes available, someone of more profile, etc., becomes available. Then you maybe look and do some business there. I don't see us doing any more business at the back at the moment. There's no room for anyone. Trevor Chalobah move away from the club hasn't really progressed anywhere. Neither has a move for Conor Gallagher away. Outgoings have been slow, and I think just in general, we started the window quite quickly, but with the tournaments going on, business has been a little bit slower in general. Now that both tournaments are over, you should see things start to pick up again. And realistically, for me, we really only need 1 or 2 positions. I personally don't think we need a wide player, in my opinion. But if we do sign a wide player, then for me personally, it looks like that Cole Palmer will play deeper next season. And Madueke and whoever else comes in will be the right wing options with Sterling and Mudryk on the left, as I said. But for me personally, I think a centre forward. But I also wouldn't be fully against us not making any more signings. And I know that might sound ridiculous, but I think, what's really important here is keeping the players fit that were injured last season. That for me is arguably more important than most signings we could make in the majority of the window. Having a fully fit Nkunku, a fully fit Lavia, a fully fit James, a fully fit Wesley Fofana, these are going to make arguably more difference to the team than signing sort of a run of the mill striker. That's for me more important. So whilst I'd like us to get maybe 1 or 2 more in, and the centre forward would be preferable, it wouldn't be disastrous if we actually didn't do any more business, worked with what we've got, kept our, try and keep our players fit, and then we've got a really solid platform to build on. You see in the pre-season training photos, guys have been back. This is the 2nd week back now. We've got a lot of options in the squad, but if we can just keep those fit, then we've definitely got a squad that is more than good enough to finish in the top 4. Obviously, other links that have been doing the rounds in terms of a Brazilian teenager, Gabriel Mek, 16-year-old from Grêmio. Don't really know anything about him, but would be another signing for the future. Nothing to shout home about in regards to the first team right now. But guys, I'm interested to know your thoughts as well, by the way. What are your thoughts on Chelsea's business in the window so far? I mean, considering the names that we've been linked with, would you rather us not sign anyone else and just focus on what we've got and keeping the players fit? Or do you think we desperately need to add more ahead of the new season? I'm kind of in 2 minds about it. If the opportunities are there to do the right deals, I'm not against it. But I'm not for just bringing names in for the sake of it, given the options that we do currently have at the club, and given there are no real standout options in the market necessarily to in the positions that we need, that you think would be a significant upgrade on what we've got. Because right now, in my opinion, rather than making the squad deeper, we need to improve. We need signings that are going to improve the first team. That will go in and can make as close to an instant impact as possible on that front. But links have been quite dry recently. If we're being really honest, having started quite quickly with a number of signings, things have now definitely quietened down on the transfer front. But I think as we build up to pre-season, the tour gets closer, things will hopefully get better. Things will hopefully get better, and maybe we'll see a few more signings being made. That's the reality of the situation right now. And yeah, you know, let's assess what we've got. Let's see what the situation holds for us across pre-season. And then let's see if we do any business off the back of maybe players not being ready or not as good as we thought they were going to be straight away. And then we can address it heading into the new season. The only problem with that trail of thought is that obviously any new signs that do come in would have missed the whole pre-season pretty much under the new manager, which is really, really important if we then decide, actually, do you know what, some of these guys aren't up to it who we thought would be up to it. That's the only issue with that. But I think they've got a very good squad. The talent's there. Most of them have got another year's experience under their belts. And we saw it's a top. We have got a top 4 squad. It's just about finding that level of consistency. And if we can keep those players fit that were injured for large parts of last season, then the team has already significantly improved, in my view. But yeah, guys, that's kind of the latest transfer news. My thoughts on the window as a whole so far. Let me know your thoughts on the window in the comments below. As always, smash a like, subscribe if you're new around here. Catch you again in another one soon. Up the Chelsea.